Time to talk a little hoops. Lady Cougar basketball here on the Coach's Show. My name is Cosmo. Coach Mike Davis, head coach of the ladies squad. 9 wins in a row, 17 of 18 if you go back to right before the flip of the calendar into December. Team is red hot right now. Can't be too many complaints on that list.
We've had a lot of work to do. I think this group has really accepted a lot of change in a good way. And they have, had some success because of those things.
I think as any team, no matter what sport it is, whether it's hockey or football or soccer or whatever, you're going to go through injuries. You're going to go through that period of teams changing and getting used, especially at the start of a season, trying to gel and get used to the game plans. And you guys have certainly been a team that has overcome a little bit of all of those things. And then in addition of Generika Bland after the start of the semester and are really clicking.
Well, Cosmo, there really are no excuses, though. I mean, I think any team that has success, everyone's going to have injuries, everyone's going to have this, everyone's going to have that. And, teams that have success, there are no excuses. You just figure out a way to still go about your business and do the best you can. And, did we have a few bumps in the road? We sure did. But I think this team, again, and I said it the last time I was on here, I'm excited about this group because we're still improving and still getting better. And, when you're halfway or past in February and your team is still improving, that's a good spot to be in.
Yeah, with 4 games left in the regular season, a couple more at home. And like you said, even when there are little bumps, you have a cold night shooting here a couple nights ago, you come right back and things get kind of turned around quick. And as we've talked about before, both on this show and then on the post-game videos, that this team practices harder than a lot of teams play in actual game play, and that just makes them even better.
Well, it's like yesterday. We're playing down at Mid-Continent University. And we had a really great shoot-around at Western Kentucky Community College that morning, and great energy. And, when you do that, it lends itself and carries right over into us playing a good ball game and shooting the ball well, last night.
Shooting it well. You tie a school record, 17. That's about as well as you can shoot. I think it was 62% total for the night, if I remember right.
I was the shooting coach yesterday. Now, some games I'm not, but yesterday I had the title of shooting coach.
That's when it works. When you don't have an assistant,
Exactly.
You can take all the positives.
Shooting coach.
17-3. It was fun listening to several of the girls shooting around in the gym before we started taping, and they were all trying to take the blame for which one missed the one that would have been the one that gave the school record with 18 threes. But 2002 was the last time you had a team that shot 17 threes in a game, and you had the same mark last night with Fish had 4 and Heather English had 4 3-pointers. It was just a solid night, both outside the arc and inside, too.
When you say 2002, that takes me back. What a great group of shooters we had at that time. B.J. Homer and Missy Wilt and Lisa Kovaleski and a group of them like that. So I think anytime you have a team that can be mentioned in the same breath with that group, you have to feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, most definitely. And a big conference win is the most important part. Is whatever the margin is or how well you shot. A W is a W. We talk about that even when it's a close game and you don't play well. It's the same thing. It only counts as one win, and now you get focused here down the stretch as we get ready for the final few games of the regular season and conference play. Talk about the final stretch here. I know for the seniors, it's amped up even more because there's kind of the light at the end of the tunnel is off in the distance a little bit, but at the same time, keep focused.
I think as a coach, we always talk about basketball season really as a marathon because it's a long season. I mean, we come in here in August and, the day classes start, we have physicals, and the next day we start our running and conditioning and lifting and all that stuff. So, you start right away. We have a 24-week rule for practices, so you go back from your last regular season game, and I can't tell you the exact date, but it was around the last week of September, we actually started working on the court with them. So, I mean, it's such a long season, and when you start in September or August or whatever, it's like it's never going to end. And boom, it's Thanksgiving. And boom, it's Christmas. And, here we are with 4 games left in the regular season. And it really goes from a marathon then to, it's like you said, you see that light at the end of the tunnel, you see the finish line, and it's a sprint from then to the end. So it's a fun time. I think you really get to see all the work you've done. And, on our board in there, we have the conference race up on the board. We have the national rankings up on the board. And it's fun to keep track of everyone else around you, what they're doing, and what you need to do to keep moving up.
And one of those things, you look at that board, the new addition to the conference with Freed Hardman, a team that's won national championships, been in the Final Four bunch, up there at the top of the rankings. They stumbled the other night, and there was a buzz in the Southwell complex that, hey, Freed lost. There's that opportunity. You got a big revenge game with them coming up. They beat you down there, and you get a chance to try and make up for that one a little bit. I know that wasn't one of your favorite games to look at.
Well, a fun thing for me as a coach is we play that game and I'm in here doing stuff with you guys post game and doing things, and I walk out of here and I have about 5 or 6 people, whether it's fans, whether it's families, whether it's our training staff, whether it's our players, and they're all coming to me, hey, did you hear what happened in this game? Did you hear what happened with Freed? Hear what happened there? So I think that is the fun thing about it. And it's like, in a pennant race in baseball. You always say you don't watch the scoreboard, but you're not human if you don't, and you're not telling the truth if you're not. That's part of the fun of it. It's part of the fun of a race. And I think that's part of the excitement of being at Columbia College, because, here we are coming up Saturday with our men playing a top 5 team. We're playing a top 5 team, and conference championships basically on the line those days. So I think that's part of the fun of being here, because it's not just us, it's every program here in the school.
Oh, most definitely, and the new addition to the conference, and they've obviously shown that they're one of the best in the country, and now an opportunity to play them here on your home court. What do you have to do differently to get the win?
Well, our fans are going to enjoy it because they're a great team. I mean, they really are. They were a Final Four team last year at the national tournament, and they've been 1 or 2 basically all year this year. So our fans are really going to get to see a high-quality team come in here. I don't know if we can beat them. We proved the first time we couldn't, but we're going to play. And but before we get to those guys, we have Stevens tomorrow night. We need to take care of business there. But it's been a fun week. That was a fun trip down to Mid-Continent, and again, good buzz in the air into the season, and with Stevens tomorrow night and then Saturday. So into the season in conference race is great fun, and it's fun for the coaches, it's fun for the fans, it's fun for the players.
Equaled the record, as we mentioned, with the 17 3-pointers. Another milestone set by one of those seniors we talked about that sees that light at the end of the tunnel, Heather English. What a career she's had. We'll come back and talk about the milestone she hit with the win at Mid-Continent, and talk more about the upcoming finale of the season down the stretch as we go, talking with head coach Mike Davis about Cougar basketball here on Mediacom Channel 22.